thank everybody for staying to listen to this, and thank the congregation for all the different mission works we have been able to support this year. Short-term missions and our long-term work in India and Nicaragua. And these college students who've gone to school over here at UTC and then stuck around and continue to work with us here at Central, that means a lot to me. And even the ones who don't stick around, we've sent kids far and wide from our work at the campus ministry to go out and do things, and all of them have been so mission-minded over the years, and it just speaks a lot to the work we're able to do here on this campus, and thank Craig for all of that. Let's hear about Ireland.
All right, so my name is Tiffany Reed. If you don't know me, I've been going to UTC, or went to UTC for 4 years, and I've graduated and I just decided to stick around in Chattanooga. But I went to Ireland last year for the first time, and I stayed for 5 weeks. And I worked with this church over there, did the Bible camp, and then helped with their Bible club follow-up through those 5 weeks. This year I wanted to go back. I couldn't go as long because I had to go get a real girl, like big girl job this year. And so, which is a blessing, but couldn't stay as long in Ireland this time. This time around, I took Jessica Savage with me and Shelton Neal. They both went to school together, and I told them about going to Ireland. They seemed like they really were interested, and I said, we'll sign them up and we'll go right away. So we got them, luckily got passports in for one of them, a little cutting it close, but we got it in, and we got over there to Ireland. The trip there itself was just fun because we had a really short layover in Chicago. None of us knew how Chicago airport was. I was the most traveled person, probably, maybe besides Jess, actually. But they were all asking me, Tiffany, what do we do? Where do we go? I hadn't slept any in 2 days, and they kept asking me questions. I sort of blew up, but they stuck with me anyway, and we're still friends, so that's good. But once we got to Ireland, Kelly told us, Kelly is the missionary's wife there. There'll be a picture of her later. She told us our theme this year was Bible survival, and she gave us the lesson plans. So this was sort of their logo for the week. We had sort of an inside joke with the missionaries there between myself. They like to give me really sharp objects right as soon as I get off the plane after I haven't slept. Last year I got off the plane, I was tired, they gave me like a whole pizza to eat and I was just sleepy. And they gave me one of those big giant chopping board guillotine things. So I came out of that with all my fingers. This year I get off the plane, they say, here's a really cheap box cutter, go to town on some cardboard. So came back with all my appendages again, which was good. But let's see, I have my notes here. All right, so we landed on the 4th of July in Ireland. So to celebrate, we went to a little American restaurant. We had burgers and fries, and they actually called them French fries and not chips, so that was good. We had a good time that night. We sort of relaxed on Sunday. We went and worshiped with the church there, and then we had an evening of just listening to some traditional music in town. But Monday morning, we started off Bible camp, and these are all our teachers and our aides that we had there. Actually, I think this has a laser. Oh, look at that. So these two right here, they're the Earls, Bill and Marilyn. They help do all our food for the camp for the teachers. There's Jessica. This is Kelly, who I was just speaking about. Kelly O'Rourke. Her husband is Ryan. They're the missionaries there. They're from Florida. Here we have Christy. She was Shelton's teacher. This is Godfrey. He is from Nigeria and is living there in Ireland now. This is Mikhail and her husband Robert. And this is Maeve. And here we have Louise. She is from Cork, Ireland. Oh, and Maeve is from Galway, I should say. She is 18. She's a member there. That's me. There's Shelton. That's Ryan again. This is Tyler. He's from Cookeville, Tennessee. He went with me last year as well. And then over here we have Jamie, and that is Robert and Mikhail's son. So those were all our teachers. The pictures are just going to rotate behind me now, so you guys can enjoy that. But every morning we started off with Shelton doing some light calisthenics with the children and singing to them. We're active most days. They loved his cowboy boots. They had never seen cowboy boots before, so they were just amazed. But every morning we would start that off. The kids loved it. They had so much fun. They loved the Rise and Shine song. Every day we added to the Rise and Shine song. But after we would sing, we would go to class and we would teach the lesson for the day. The little kids they would go to class and then they would go outside and then come back in, have more class, and go to lunch. The big kids would have class, go to crafts, and then come back in for more class and go to lunch. And the little kids did crafts in the afternoon. So the crafts that they did every day were sort of themed around what we learned that day. They also had a snack that was loosely themed about what we did that day. They played some games with Maeve. That'll be later on too. She did little activities, little obstacle courses with them every day. So they had to get their wiggles out, which was a big relief because they had lots of wiggles. So after we would go back to class, Jessica and I were teachers together, and so we would come back and review the lesson, see if they could tell us what they learned, see what they could pick out from the lesson from what they got earlier. Our lessons every day, we started off on Monday with Noah. We taught the lesson of obedience. We did Israel, the children of Israel getting lost in the wilderness to teach about patience. We talked about Elijah being fed by the ravens to talk about trust. We taught about Paul's shipwreck and snake bite to talk about love. And then we talked about Jesus being tempted by Satan to teach about self-control. So that was what we did every day for camp. We would get up, sing, go to class, wrap up at the end of the day with more singing. At the end of the week, we did something called a parents' tea, and I don't have any pictures from that, but it's where all the parents would come and meet their teachers, their kids' teachers for the week. A lot of the parents remembered me from last year, which was really nice, and a lot of them had come to camp last year for the first time, had continued to come to Bible camp every week since last year, and one thing I'll talk about here in a minute, Ryan and Kelly are having to leave, so they can't continue the Bible camp, or the Bible club, rather. So the parents are really, upset that they weren't going to have that club every week, and they were just very appreciative and so thankful for having that for their children. Another thing I should mention, we were in Ireland. It's just a lot of these kids, their families come from Nigeria. So when you see pictures, we were in Ireland. It's just right next to the Nigerian community. So there's lots of little Nigerian kids running around. One funny story was, I'm there with Sheldon and Jessica, and these kids look at me and they say, "Teacher, are you a farmer?" And I said, "No, I'm not a farmer." They said, "Are you from Tennessee?" I said, "Yeah, I'm from Tennessee." They said, "You don't talk like the others do." And I said, "Well, I don't talk like Shelton, but that doesn't mean anything." But, so, we're still on the crafts pictures, but yeah, so every day we went to singing in the afternoon to wrap the kids up and sort of review the lesson. We brought them back to our classrooms. Every teacher sort of had a different style. Jessica and I would give little treats at the end of the day if our kids remembered a memory verse every day. They also had a big treat at the end of the week, which was just dollar store gifts, but they thought it was awesome, so we were the coolest teachers, I think. But anyway, we had a good time with them. They were fun. I'm going to flip through some of these pictures so we can get to the next little portion here. That's mine and Jessica's class. They were the best class. This is the adventurers. Is that what we were? Adventurers? Is that what it is? They were pretty great. This is us wrapping up at the end of the day. I think this is a Friday picture. And there's another picture. One thing we did on Friday before we had the parents come to meet us, each class did a little performance. So we taught our class the booster song, and they did Boost Our Bible Camp for their parents. All right, so this is Ryan and Kelly, and Maeve in between. Ryan and Kelly are from Florida. Ryan preached in Florida for a while, preached in Fayetteville, Tennessee for a while, preached in Virginia for a while, and then decided to go be a missionary for a few years. And they are having to come back to America at the end of this year. They love their time in Ireland, but the Irish government is not cooperating with their visas, so they're excited to come back home and get situated here as well. There's a man named Nigel Brown. Is it Brown? We're not sure on his last name, but he's coming to take over the preaching position there in Galway. The congregation is very small. I would say 10 regular members, maybe. they don't have any of the resources that we have here, but they are great people. I love them. I connected with them, and they're my family over there as well. Ryan and Kelly open up their house to us every year and feed us, house us, take care of us, drive us around. So they're amazing people. I love them. I can't wait for them to come home. Shelton, do you want to talk about your experience? This was Shelton's first mission trip, his first time out of the South. He was our newbie on this trip. So he's going to talk a little bit about the sightseeing that we did, and because we did get to see the country. It's really beautiful over there. And he's going to talk about just impressions of his first mission trip.
Thank you. So first of all, I'd like to say I think it's hilarious that Tiffany and myself are up here talking about Ireland when there's a guy from Northern Ireland sitting right there. He lives over there, and there's two Tennesseans talking about it. Just thought about that. But don't, Northern Ireland and Ireland, two different countries. Call a Northern Irish person an Irishman is as bad as calling a Southern man a Yankee. Don't do it. So the first day we got to the classes, that's where Ryan and Kelly lived. The first day we got to the classes, those poor kids, poor Shelton, none of us could understand each other. I couldn't understand them, they couldn't understand me, because they talked with these pseudo-Irish, Nigerian accents, and God bless them, they couldn't hear me because I'm from Burnt Church. So we were lost in communication all the way around. But the second day, it all went really well. I had me and Christy is from Mobile, Alabama. We talked the 5 and 6s, the castaways, and they were great class little kids. We had 12, the most we were having today was 12, and we kept 12. 11 was most standard. We got on the plane in Nashville, and it was 90 some odd degrees and sweltering hot, 100% humidity. We stepped off the plane in Dublin, and it was a balmy 55 degrees with a sea breeze. So the week over there was quite nice. We were there for 10 days. The first 3 days were sunny and beautiful and gorgeous, and the next 7 days it rained. And it rained. Then it rained a little bit more, just to let up for a little bit, just to keep on raining. And it rained like that forever. You see the picture of the dog that was up there? The dog is a small horse. It's the biggest dog I've ever seen in my life, because this is about the size of the dog. It's right here. So it's an Irish wolfhound, so they're bringing him back with him. We went out the first day we could. We went out on the beach, and just because they live right on the side of the bay of Galway Bay, that's what we're going to call it. They live right there, and so the first day we spent doing arts and crafts and cutting these. What those things were pizza boxes, and we were cutting holes out of the top of them, and they were going to make solar ovens out of pizza boxes, which is a real smart idea in Ireland where the sun shines like 4 days out of the year. So there's that. This is Dungear Castle, Dungear. It's pretty big, it's pretty cool. We went in and walked around before they kicked us out because I kept almost breaking things. They asked us, that little thing to the right was the smallest little castle I'd ever seen in my life. It was this tall and no taller. You barely could squeeze up in it. Just, you get up there and just turn around. That's all you could do. We got up there and that was fun. This was in Athenry. This was fun. We toured, was it the church? It was the church that we toured, and they had it all fixed up like it would have been in the 16th and 17th and 12th centuries and whatnot. And things got weird, evidently. Because oh man, that dude. They dressed us up in these period outfits, and they were coming to the guys and they said, "All right, Tyler, what do you want to be?" He said, "I want to be a knight." So they dressed him up as a knight. They came to Jamie, what do you want to be? "I want to be a knight too." "All right," dressed him up as a knight. "Shelton, what do you want to be?" "I want to be a peasant." "You want to be a peasant?" "Yeah, you got a peasant? Let's make this thing legitimate here. You need a peasant in every group." He said, "We don't have any peasant clothes." So they went and got a dress and put it on me. In other words, these were the cliffs of Moher. No picture ever taken will ever do these things any justice. They were just massive. And they're just keep on going up and keep on going up. And just, you can't put into words how big and how beautiful these things are and how dangerous they are. You know, that's why we're sitting right on the edge, because that's safe. And windy, so windy. I had to walk around like this most of the time I was there to keep my hat from blowing off. And at this point, Maeve said she wanted a picture with us going like, pew, pew. And so I did, but I just, you know, I went full Shelton on her and I said, give me crazy eyes, and she thought that was real funny. And so she thought that was over. Just another picture of it. That there is, what's that, chimney stone, is that what they call it? Chimney rock. Call that chimney rock. You go over to the other side. We went almost all the way over there, and it's just, you can, what was it, a mile, 2 miles of just sheer rock face, right? And it's just, I can't say how big and massive these things are. This was our whole class here. What is this, end of day 5 or something? I can't speak for the rest of the classes, for the rest of the teachers, but I know personally my kids, I love those kids. They were great. We had, just can't speak any more highly of how awesome and amazing and inspiring these kids were. Let's see here. What else can I talk about? Galway was cool. It's built like this. Everything's built right next to each other. You know, the inside wall from one building is the outside wall from the adjacent building. They just, you know, added 3 more walls to everything and just kept on going down the street. And, you know, the whole city's built like a maze. If you can get lost in there, you get turned around just by going to use the bathroom somewhere. You come out and you're somewhere else. Or you do what? Or in the airport. I don't know. Oh, Dublin Airport maybe. That place. Is there another way to get into Ireland without going through Dublin Airport? Belfast? We should go through Belfast next year. The place is crazy. Same picture? Alright, overall, the trip, it was fantastic. You know, she was saying we may not get to go next year. It all depends on, there's a lot of variables that have to be met before we can go again next year. But on the chance that we can go, I would love to go again. I would highly suggest that we bring more people with us just to experience it. Because, you know, Ryan and Tiffany both said it. They're not for want over there. They don't need anything. So the aspect, the mindset that you have to bring to you whenever you go over there is completely different from a mission trip, from what I understand, to Central America or South America or Bahamas or wherever it is you're going to go to do missionary work, because they're not in need. It's very much similar to doing missionary work here, I would, in my own opinion. You get a lot of people saying, you know, well, what are you here for? Are you here for heritage? Well, we're actually here for a missions trip. Are you Catholic? No. And then they look at you funny because you're not Catholic, and the whole country is Catholic. And I think Galway is one of 3 churches of Christ in the country, 3 or 4. And that church only had like 7 to 10 people on a good day, you know, 12 whenever the tourists are in. And it's really difficult to grow there because, like I said, nobody is in want for anything, so it just kind of more or less pushes you away. And Ryan said it, you know, he said it as a passing thought, but it's something that stuck with me all week, and it's something that will probably stay with me for the rest of my life. He said, in the United States, if your preacher says something that you don't agree with, or elders do something you don't agree with, you can pack up and go to the next church down the road. He said, we can't do that here. He said, we have 3 churches in the whole country, and they're each 3 hours apart from each other. He said, we came thinking one thing, thinking some things, we're going to leave thinking a few others, and believing the Bible for what it really is. Because when you're here, forced to be in this Bible, because you can't just pack up and go to the next place, because that next place is way too far to go. He said the impression that I got from them, they're not sad to be leaving Ireland. They're sad to be leaving the church. They're sad to be leaving the people that they poured their hearts into, which is completely understandable, because the relationships they made with these people are strong. The relationships that they made with these friends of theirs over there are everlasting. It's because they went full throttle into God's Word every day while they were there. And it makes you wonder, it made me wonder anyway, whenever I got back, how can I have that same vigor for Christianity? How can I have that same zeal to get into the Word, to tell it to my coworkers like they would every day? It was truly just fantastic. If you have any questions, just come up, ask me or Tiffany or Jessica afterwards. Jessica, was there anything you wanted to, anything memorable? Jessica was there an extra week. She stayed and helped Kelly and Ryan contact parents afterwards, ask them, hey, how'd you like it? They all said, yeah, it's great. Tyler is still over there and will be over there for another 3 weeks? 2 weeks. He's over there for another 2 weeks. And so he'll come back a week before Kelly and Ryan come back. Anything else? No? Well, y'all, thanks for stopping and listening and paying attention and watching us go through the pictures and everything. You're dismissed. You're dismissed.